Today is another Minimalist Jewelry Monday. I don't know what day you're watching this, but it's Monday when I'm posting it. Today we're going to make 5 pair of minimalist earrings, and you can see the beads are really tiny. I do have a little larger bead right here, but for the most part, they're quite tiny. And I'm going to show you how to make 5 pairs of earrings that are easy to make, great for beginners, and very dainty to wear. You'll need round nose pliers, and I'm using 2 pair, yes 2, flat nose pliers. You'll need 6 2-inch head pins. 1.5 could probably work too, but I have 2-inch head pins, so 6 of these. 1 pair of the earrings doesn't require head pins, and I'm using a variety of ear wires. I have posts, fish hook, lever back, and another end fish hook in the gold tone. You can use whatever you would like as far as finish and style. I just thought I would use a variety in today's video. As far as beads, I'll talk about these as we make each pair of earrings. And keep in mind that you don't have to have these same exact beads. You can just have something similar, like these little cube beads. They don't have to be exactly like what I'm using. Let's separate these. For the first pair of earrings, you'll need 6 cube beads. I have 2 that are blue with an AB finish, and I have 2 that are clear and silver metallic finish. I have 4 tiny little daisy spacers, and I have 4 3mm round gold-plated beads. Let's check the size on these. The square beads are 5mm. The round beads, as I said, are 3. And the daisy spacers, they're 4mm. Because we have the gold daisy spacers, I'm using 2 2-inch gold head pins and 2 gold tone ear wires. First thing we do is add the 3mm round bead, a blue cube, and it changes colors depending on what side you're looking at. Let's add the 4mm daisy spacer, the clear cube, another daisy spacer, and a blue cube. And then finish off with a small round gold bead. We've just stacked the beads with a few daisy spacers in between. To make the earring, push the beads down. I just like to put my thumbnail here and bend the wire at a right angle. And then using my cutters on my round nose pliers, and you'll find a link for my tools below the video. I cut this down to about 1/4 inch, and then make a loop, attach the ear wire, and close the loop. We have our first earring. Let's make the second one. And sometimes the holes are not drilled perfectly. You might want to try the other side of the bead. Try turning it upside down. It's just the nature of these beads. Push the beads down, bend it at a right angle, and just trim it and make the ear wire like we did the first one. If you want to, you can finish off the loop completely and then open it sideways to attach the ear wire. And we have our first little pair of minimalist earrings. I'm going to ask you at the end of the video to vote on which pair or pairs that you like the best, but this is pair number 1. Let's move on to pair number 2. For pair number 2, we need some round beads. We've got some pretty aqua stones. I'll give you the measurement on those in just a minute. And let's see here. How about this spacer bead? We'll take a closer look at that too. And a couple of round beads. A pair of ear wires. And 2 head pins. This is what we need for pair number 2. As far as the size, this aqua blue bead is 6mm. And the spacer bead is also 6mm. And then the small round silver bead that we're going to be using a lot of these is 3 millimeter. Two 2-inch head pins. You know, minimal implies small. So not only are the earrings small, they're very easy to make. So that's what we have for the first one. Let's just go ahead and build the second one. You can use whatever color you want, whatever size bead, and any spacer bead that you'd like. My videos are for inspiration, to encourage you to work with your own bead stash and see what you can come up with. So don't worry about having the same exact thing I have. Just think about it as small round beads or small square beads. Just think about the shape of what I'm using and not be too concerned about the exact bead. I'm going to push these down all the way, bend this at a right angle, the round nose pliers, trim it back to about 1/4 of an inch, make a loop, and I have a little mark on here. You can put a mark with your marker if you like so that you're consistent with your loops. I'm going to go ahead and close that one up all the way this time. I seem to get a better loop if I close it all the way, but sometimes I'll insert the ear wire and then finish closing it. This is flush, the wire is flush. Close it up, straighten it up if you need to. You can either open up the loop on the ear wire itself or on here. I think I'll just open it here, sideways of course. Now I have flat nose pliers here, but I also really like to use needle nose pliers or chain nose pliers. I'll have links for both. I said you could also open up the ear wire right here. Again, opening it sideways so that you don't put too much stress on the wire. Give it a little pinch to close it up. This is what we just made, really fast and easy. You can make these in all different colors. Take a closer look at them. I love the aqua color. They're small and dainty. And if you wanted to shorten these up, you could use the lever back or a post ear wire to shorten it up. Let's move on to pair number 3. For the third pair, I'm going to use these little square beads. You've probably seen these before in a string. Typically they come in a strand of, I don't know, quite a few of them because they're pretty small. Then I have these little saucer beads, little like flying saucers. I work in a couple of those. Got quite a few in here. I'm going to be using them for a couple of different projects. Some little round beads. I could need 2 more of these. Pair of ear wires and 2 head pins. And again, my head pins are 2 inches, but you could probably get by with 1.5 inches. These little square beads come in all different patterns. I've got quite a few in my stash. Add the round bead, 3 millimeter round bead. The square bead, I'm not sure what size these are. They're about a 12 millimeter square. Let's stack a couple of these saucer beads. Saucer meaning like little flying saucer. And then just add another round bead on top. We are going for minimalist, very simplistic. That's what I've got. I think I'll go with it. Let's go ahead and make the other one. I have the round bead on here already. And the square bead. It has like a paisley pattern. A couple of saucer beads. Another round bead. Again, these are 3 millimeter. I do have a link for an assortment of beads that includes this size. And then our ear wires. Just pushing all the beads down like we did on the others. Bend it at a right angle. Trim it back to about 1/4 of an inch. Make a loop. Going to close the loop. Same thing here. I am going to use my needle nose even though I still have my flat nose pliers here. I should have mentioned these at the beginning because they are my favorite. Just open this loop sideways. Place the open loop through the hole on the earring, ear wire, lever back, whatever you want to call it. Slide that on here. There's no front or back to these. The bead is 2-sided. And there's our little earrings. Now these I can't easily put on the display. I can only lay them on here. But this is pair number 3. So remember, I'm going to ask you to vote at the end if you have a favorite or two. Let's move on to pair number 4. For pair number 4, we need this fairly large. I know we're saying minimalist, and I have this quite large little disc bead, but I thought it was kind of cool, so we're going to work with that. We need 2 of those, and then some more of these little saucer beads. I think I need pretty much all of these now that I have left in here. The last earring is going to be somewhat of a chainmail earring, but I guess I could call it cheater chainmail. I'll explain why in a minute when we get to that one. I'll need ear wires. I'm just going to go with the hook here, the fish hook ear wire, and 2 2-inch head pins. That's all we have for pair number 4. Oh, I do have one other thing I need to get. I need the round beads out of here. I need 2 sizes of round beads out of here. I'm still using the 3mm, but I also need a larger size. So this is what we have for pair number 4. Let's find out what size of bead we have here, so that if you're looking for beads, you have an idea. This little round disc is 14mm. The saucer bead is 6mm because it goes through the hole. And then this larger round bead that I'm introducing is 4mm. Let's take our 2-inch head pin, add the 6mm round bead. Now let's add, there's a lot of different ways we could do this one. We can add 1 saucer bead and then this disc, and then stack some more of these. I'm going to stack 3. That's one look. Or we could put 2 of the saucer beads, 2 on the bottom and 2 on top. For this look, that looks like a top. I think I like just 1 on the bottom. That's what I'm going to go with. So 1 small saucer bead on the bottom, then the disc, and stack 3. This has a very contemporary look to it. And then the small 3mm bead, round bead on top. So that's what I'm going for. It's a little larger than what you might think is minimalist, but it's not too large. I mean, it's really not. I have a quarter here. Let's compare this to a quarter. It's not really that large. It just might look really large in the camera. Let's make the other one 6mm, 1 saucer, the disc, stack 3 more saucer beads, and a small 3mm on top. Then we have our ear wires, just going with the hook again. This one has a little flaw on the bead, so I'm going to find another one in here. That happens sometimes. So check your ear wires. I thought I checked it, but pushing all the beads down, put my thumb over the top bead. These head pins bend quite easy, so very easy to do. Trim down to about 1/4 inch. I'm going to go ahead and make my loop and close it all the way. Straighten it out if you need to. A lot of times I need to straighten it slightly. Got 1 down. Let's make the other one. Push all the beads down. Bend it at a right angle. Just going to open it sideways on the ear wire. Just open it sideways. Attach the earring to the ear wire loop. Close it up. And we have pair number 4. These are fun. These are a little conversation piece. I don't think they're showing up very well laying flat. Let's put them on here. Look at those. Aren't those fun? They're whimsical. I like them. I think they're neat. Pair number 4 if you'd like to vote for number 4. Let's make our final pair now. And everything that's left in here is for pair number 5, other than the ear wires. And I don't have much in here for beads. All I have are these 2 little green discs, and I believe these are glass. I have quite a few of these in different colors. So a little green glass disc. They don't have a very big hole in the middle. In fact, I don't think these match as well as what they should. as far as the hole, so I'm going to look for another one. I bought these beads quite some time ago. You can see I have a lot of different colors, a lot of different sizes, and yes, they can vary quite a bit, so you want to try to match up two of them. Hopefully they work for what I'm going to do today. We have 6 jump rings. I'm going to check the size on those. 6 of, I'll call these a large size, 4 medium, and I'll say 4 small. I'm going to check the size on all of these before we start making the earrings. Let's do that right now. The largest ring is 8 millimeter. The medium size is 6, and the smallest is 4. So 4, 6, and 8. For each earring, we need 3 8 millimeters. I'm just going to go ahead and separate those out. These are for the cheater chainmail that I mentioned. 2 6 millimeter per earring and 2 4 millimeter per earring. Of course, we've got our ear wires, and I'm just using some short posts, and I'm hoping these little green glass discs that I picked out are going to work. I hope so. This is where you're going to need 2 flat nose pliers, with one exception. If you have a ring to open and close jump rings, you could use that too. I'll show you both ways, but first let's go with these. The first thing we need to do is open up these little 4 millimeter and get those on our ear wire. I need to fit 2 of these on this post. If I can't get them on the post, then I'll go to a regular fish hook ear wire. So I'm opening up 2 of these. You hold on to one side and open the other. It's like you can either go this way or that way. It doesn't really matter, but you just hold one stationary and open up with the other hand, the opposite hand. So I have 2 4 millimeter jump rings on here. Very hard to see. Then we take the 6 millimeter, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 2 of the 8 millimeter rings. So I have the 6, and I picked up 2 8 millimeter, and I'm going to put this through the 2 4 millimeter jump rings that are on the post. Close it up, make sure it's closed even, and give it a little pinch if you need to. Pick up the other 6 millimeter ring, and this is where we need to go through the 2 8 millimeter and then back around through the 4s. I'll show you. It'll be easier when I show you what I've done than to tell you. So basically we have the 4 millimeter with 2 6 millimeter and then 2 8 millimeter. Let me lay it down. That's not going to do it. I know what. I'll put it on here so you can see 2 2 and 2. Okay. Now we're getting ready to attach the bead. And to attach the bead, we need that last 8 millimeter jump ring. Pick up our disc bead. Hopefully it fits on here. And then attach it to the 2 8 millimeter. So I picked it up with an 8 millimeter jump ring, and I'm attaching it to the double. You could put 2 of these rings on here if you can fit 2 through there. I'm not sure that I can, but basically that's the earring that we're going for. I'll lay it down here, and let's make the other one. Make sure your jump rings are closed. I see one here that's not closed all the way, so I'm making sure that's closed. I can just go ahead and pick up the 2 6s and attach it here. Just checking to make sure those jump rings are closed. A lot of times they're not completely closed when you buy them, but we still need to get this other 4 millimeter on here to double up. So can I get this through the 2 6 millimeter and through the loop? Yes, I can. I can hardly show you it, but I hope you know what I'm doing. I've got 2 jump rings through the ear wire, 2 jump rings here. Not closing up as much as I'd like. I'm going to try this again. Now let's add the 6 You can do this any way you'd like as long as you accomplish the goal of 2, 2, and 2, and then 1 when we add the green bead. This is our last jump ring. Get that through that little disc. Add it to the end. Let's show it to you here. There you go. We made our first little chainmail earrings. Cheater chainmail in a way because, you know, we didn't make the jump rings, and I mean, you don't have to make your jump rings, but these are a very basic beginner chainmail. So this is pair number 5 if you'd like to vote. And I just want to talk about the ear wires for a minute. They come with a butterfly back to them, silver plated, but I like to give a silicone back because I think they're more secure. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on here. I used to just add the silicone, but now I'm adding both of them so the buyer can decide. Oh, I forgot to show you how to open and close a jump ring with this. All right, let's do it. I've got a jump ring laying over here. Let's close this jump ring up. I have this ring. Has a couple of different slots, but it takes the larger one to do this. You can just slip your jump ring in here and go like that and open it. You can go like this and close it, although it almost always takes 2 tools to close it up properly. But that's how you use it. It really makes it easy. I just forgot to do it. Sorry about that. You'll find this in the links below the video too. So here we go. Let's take a closer look at everything. Pair number 1 with the little cube beads. Pair number 2, the stacked aqua beads with a fancy spacer bead. Pair number 3, a textured square bead with some saucer beads. Pair number 4, a really unique pair with a disc bead. And pair number 5, a very basic chainmail pair of earrings. If you'd like to, vote for your favorite pair or pairs. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Jewelry, and I'll see you in the next video.